IPA action.
Shout out Gumballhead. It's actually a pale ale, or a wheat ale.
Yeah, that's old man shit. But welcome. We are live to go over just preview tomorrow's slate, see if there's anything that's catching our eye right now, or something we're gonna wait on. But off, how was the day today?
It was a good day. Twitter best bets 2-1. So a day in the green consistently for the long season will take us to the promised land, right? And then overall, took some live plays. Was probably about really 5-2. I definitely took some light plays. So it was a good day, man. It's good to be in the green. I feel like I've had a lot of 500 days and losing like 0.1 juice or 0.05 juice, which is, as RD Gens say, breaking even. but it felt good today, and I really liked the games today for some reason. Felt like the lines are really good today. You look like you had a good day too.
Yeah, it wasn't too shabby. 3-1. I love fading these just dog shit teams against elite defensive units. I mean, Canisius, that was beyond sweat free. Delaware, a little sweaty. They were in the bonus with like 8 minutes left, so it felt like every trip down the floor, Providence was putting them at the line, but that got home. And then the Cleveland State late ad from the pregame show. Just more talked about it. Thought they were live, and they were. Came down the stretch, both three-point game with 3.5 left, and they ended up losing by 11. So that was a little brutal, but we got the cover there. And the Michigan State, man, they were down, I think, 12 at one point, 21-9, and then storm back, take a 28-23 lead or something, and just never expanded it past 13 for the rest of the game. Like, it bounced between like 9 and 13. So a little brutal. That was my favorite play of the day, to be honest, was Michigan State. I mean, just good spot to get a lot of free runouts. Team that doesn't rebound, but unable to get it done. But 3-1, we'd take it every day of the week.
Man, 3-1's a solid day, especially early in the week. Playing with house money early in the week for this week, and props to you on the team total unders as well too. I think taking advantage of those, because there's just not as much value in those team total unders during conference play because it's more even matched, right? So I think those numbers are. If you don't want to take a high spread, I think you play those really correctly, and I've done well this season with those team total unders. And obviously Canisius was sweat free. 18. They put up 8 numbers in the first half, and I'm pretty sure it was 52-6 at one point as well.
Yep.
Looked like the Jags Lions game first half.
Yep. I honestly didn't catch a second of that game. It was so out of hand right away. I was like, all right, I don't have to kill myself for putting this on one of my quad boxes here. So
Canisius was a good team last year too. What happened?
They were. They just lost a lot of guys. I believe they got a new coach. I think they got a new coach too. So
yeah,
they're going through a transition.
Yeah, they were good last year, but props to you on those. I think that's a solid read, and man, we're almost a feast week as well too, and we're already getting those preseason tournaments.
Thursday we got 10 a.m. 11 a.m. hoops for the East Coast. So that will be nice. All day gambling. Don't do anything at work. Just watch some UIC JMU at 11, leading into lunch, and go from there. But
curious on the line on that. Take a guess.
Yeah.
Neutral site, probably JMU 4.5, probably.
Let's take a look at what KenPom's got. I'm guessing it'll probably be directly on that or pretty close. 20 time. Oh, tomorrow's the damn you, KenPom.
He is Illinois Chicago winning by 1.
Really?
I mean, Illinois Chicago
74-71. I think it'll probably be JMU like minus 3.5 or something like that. Books like to kind of keep it a little close from KenPom here, so I don't think they'll put it at maybe they will put it at a 1. Who knows? But if you're going to get a possession with UIC, that'd be interesting with JMU on the neutral. Holy shit! Keep me logged in, KenPom. What are we doing?
It's because we're both logged in.
Oh, yeah, that could be true. I mean, JMU 4-point loss at Towson. Lost at Norfolk State too. I mean, their 2 road games they've lost. They've lost outright. So their one home game win was Ohio. I mean, Mary Baldwin Church of Latter-day Saints or whatever. They beat by 48, but yeah, Ohio win. Otherwise, 2 road losses. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. But yeah, going a little back to those team total things, like you said, out of conference play. I mean, it's a gigantic mismatch. You just have teams rolling around trying to find or trying to get a bag, just pay for part of that athletic department and teams around. So I feel like it's pretty advantageous finding some of these good, these nice team total unders with some of these really bad teams heading to elite defensive P5 schools and that Canisius one getting Maryland off of the home loss, and then Providence just I believe the most they've allowed is like 53 or something. So getting 56.5 with Delaware was a no-brainer pull for me there. So just something I'll be keeping an eye on. Love doing that, but just hopping into tomorrow. Anything caught your eye so far? Or should we just scroll down the board and see if we'd like anything?
Sorry, I'm just buying KenPom.
You're good
right now. It's so.
Oh yeah, I can log out. I can log out.
No,
I was just looking at it to see what the projected line was, but we also got those tournaments actually are coming up too. So we have some look ahead spots, some neutrals, so potentially something to keep an eye on for some of these games.
Yeah, no, I mean solid lineup for games. I'll get Torvik up. And then I guess I had an old account, but I didn't renew, so now I forgot my password. But I mean, Charleston at the Citadel tomorrow.
Yeah,
you see a line on that?
Yep, 10.5. Unless it's different on DK. Yeah, I see 10.5 everywhere for Charleston on this one. Just rough looking at the scores. I was gonna say rough looking at the scores. Citadel hasn't been terrible.
They're good. But they got that one kid that's kind of got Twitter famous almost, or kind of went viral. He's been playing really good. So.
Brody Fox.
Yes.
19 points a game. Yeah, I mean, he's got a 67% effective field goal percentage this year. He's only shooting 14% from 3, though, so that's not his forte. 52% at the free throw line either. Man, how is he scoring 19 a game when you're shooting 50? He must just be a 6'6" guard. Man, he just must be.
He's just a certified
shooter.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's inside of 25 feet. Damn. Oh, he was in Wisconsin last year? I do not even remember this kid on the roster.
Hold on.
Interesting.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah, but I mean, just initially just looking at this feels like a Charleston smash just because they beat FAU in that double overtime game. They end up going cold. I believe it was like 11 minutes. They didn't score a single bucket in that Liberty game. And just they looked like they were just giving up and dead. About 15 minutes left in the second half. They couldn't score. Liberty was starting to pull away. And then it just ballooned up. So I feel like they kind of just gave up, started to move on from this game. And then Citadel here. Let's look at this. They just lost to NC-A&T at home by 9. They ended up beating Stetson by 12 at home, and then 2 D2 schools, and then lost a 9-point game at Boston College. So that's a little rough. But I mean, Charleston, solid team, can score, play some defense. Just, I don't know if the legs gave up from under them in that first half there or second half there against Liberty, but it feels like a decent bounce back spot. First road game of the year, unless you want to consider that Southern Illinois neutral spot a road game, but just kind of like Charleston here, just off the look here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think too, though. This is kind of like that. I don't know if it's little brother, big brother, just because Citadel is a military school, but Yeah, it's not too bad of a road spot for Charleston coming off a loss. I think it's probably around the right number, to be honest with you. 10.5 over 148. I wouldn't even mind probably the over. I'm gonna get my pen and paper. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I just renewed pen palm, so but then I had to make my password and everything. So yeah, no bet for me yet, but with Citadel playing kind of slow, don't love the over, and Charleston has kind of been matching teams' pace. Southern Illinois, South Florida, Florida Atlantic, all fast teams. Liberty kind of a slow, ground you out team, and it showed a weakness even at home for Charleston. So, yeah, I don't love the 10.5. I'm curious to look at the line movement. I guess I'd have to lean. I'm not afraid to say that over 148.5 because we picked so many fucking games anyway. So,
yeah, not a strong feel in this game. Just off the rip, I mean,
I just need to lay a 10.5, and then I guarantee it goes to 12 or 13 probably tomorrow, though. But what CLV has meant this year doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, I mean Citadel, both 14 turnovers a game, and if you're already playing at a slow pace, that's going to take away some possessions. Citadel, average 70.5 possessions. So you take 14 away from that, you got about 56 possessions throughout the game. And if you're shooting team stats, you're shooting 48% from the floor, you get, we'll just round up to 50. That's 26 roughly, 27 possessions. So, I mean,
Torvik's Charleston's got it 78, or excuse me, Ken Palm's got Charleston 78-69. I don't know if we're allowed to share data. I'm just kidding. Torvik, you can though. Charleston 77-68. So I think that spread's probably right there. I'm curious.
That's got to be close.
And it is a home game though.
I mean, what are you going to really factor in for a home game for Citadel though? That's the thing.
Or is it not? Is the Citadel in Charleston?
I believe it's a home game. I'm not sure where it's in home.
It's in Charleston.
Where is the Citadel? 10-minute drive from downtown Charleston. So
wow. So this is. I mean, it is little big brother then.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. This would potentially maybe look at an under just due to slow pace of play here, the turnover factor. Little brother going to play tough. Charleston doesn't really have a look ahead. I mean, they got Rhode Island, so it is what it is. I mean, Charleston fans can definitely travel to this.
Charleston games, obviously 3 or 4 Charleston games, 2 out of 3 home games. Yep. Totals have only gone over in 1 of 4 Citadel games.
Yeah, I mean, Citadel, just looking at this, gave up 69 to Boston College on the road, 56 to Erskine, 52 to Stetson, and 54 to North Greenville. So, I mean, they're doing fairly decent on the defensive end for who they're playing. Obviously, they gave up 82 to NC A&T, which is kind of a shock. But
they have played every year since 2022. They must be on a 3-year stint because then they took a break from 2016. I don't love looking at this kind of data because obviously systems are different, but I think there's some truth to like some type of trends. I mean, it's all hocus pocus, but in my opinion, but it's either picking a side or not. But Charleston in 2022, they dominated 79-57 over 149.5. That was at Citadel. The spread was around 12.5. And then Citadel versus Charleston laying 13, still covered last year, 86-71 over 147. Pat Kelsey, though, fast paced. I know Chris Mack doesn't mind shooting the ball and running and gunning as well, but I'm with you. I think the total will drop from 148 to about 145, 146.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write down the under, and I guess I'll put Charleston just because I'm not taking the Citadel. So, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely be a Charleston or an under for me. Not anything too concrete in that one that I'm feeling.
What's
This
the
one's
next?
interesting. Siena at Xavier. Xavier
Yeah,
off of the big Wake Forest win. Xavier also hasn't looked too good this year. Majority. I mean, they
Sienna's
gave up
got
80 to
Sienna's an
IUPUI.
improvement from last year. That's not saying
Yeah.
much, but
They couldn't get any worse.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at Xavier, I mean, 15 win over Wake. Was that a 37-point win over Jackson State? 14 over
Xavier's laying
IUND.
25 and a half. I see 24 and a half places.
See 26 on DK.
Okay, so 24 and a half is just I have this app that has all of it up. So it just shows me like the range of everything to get the best bet. I don't keep my money in all these different stuff, but yeah. But 140 25.
Oh, dude, here, I'll send you this link. Regis, I'll send it to you in the
Regis Philbin.
Chat. Actually, I'll just put it in the comment section if anybody else wants it. Unabated. I mean, you get all these odds it shows you from across every book. So I mean, you can just one spot see anything you want. It's got, I mean, everything from Bovada to DraftKings to ESPN. So Bet Online. So offshore to legal, they got you covered there.
Love it.
Yeah, best line I'm seeing 24 and a half. Yeah, you're right. And then 26 and a half on Siena if you want that, whatever book that is. But it exists.
Is this the spot where Xavier comes out and drills them? I don't think so, right? They have not impressed.
Xavier's got South Carolina on a neutral on deck, so this is a get out of town. I mean, Siena, 1-point win over Brown, beat Bryant on the road by 2, scored 90 in that game. They beat American by 8, just lost to Albany away. Now they're going to head to Xavier. Man, I kind of like Siena in this. I mean, a lot of people just down on Siena. Xavier, big win against Wake Forest. You got South Carolina on deck. This is a textbook sandwich spot. I mean, you've beaten Jackson State by 37, so that was your monster win. And let's see what Jackson State's offensive efficiency is here. Jackson State 280. Oh, that's Jacksonville. Jackson State 327th in the country. Siena 162. So Siena is actually middle of the pack here, a little ahead of the pack here for offensive efficiency wise. You know, I mean, they did give up 80 to IUPUI. Is Siena like the 3 ball? Because that's where IUPUI has been thriving this year. So I mean, if they can hit threes, 3-point made a game, 7. It's not really their specialty there. Let's see here.
I mean,
they don't turn it over much.
You gotta think though. I mean, Xavier did drill Jackson State at home. They drilled. I guess they haven't. That's the only team they drilled. Jackson State.
Yep.
I mean, this makes me feel like it is the one that they get, but Siena's not. I wouldn't want to put my money on Siena. I mean, they lost to Albany, and I think Albany's actually a good team this year for the American East bid. Beat Bryant. I mean, Bryant's a good team.
On the road. Yeah.
On the road, like you said. And then 2 overtime wins. They've been gritty. Hit the gritty. American, not a bad team as well. They fucked me last night with High Point, 13.5. So we'll see what defense shows up and if Xavier ends up giving a shit to reciprocate on offense.
Yeah, 100%.
If I had to pick one, this is one game I'm probably staying away from.
Fair. If I had to choose, it would definitely be Siena here. Just 26.5 is just a ton of points in a sandwich spot. I mean, they're going to whatever tournament they're going to go to, but they got South Carolina on deck after the big Wake Forest win. This is an easy sleep through game. So Siena or nothing. I would not be laying 26 with Xavier in this one, to be honest. I wouldn't even bet it with your money. Yale Stony Brook interest you or no?
Yale Stony Brook. We got a line. It's going to be
9.5. Yale favored on the road.
Yeah, Stony Brook stinks, dude. I watched Stony Brook. They fucking suck.
I haven't got my eyes on them yet.
I watched them against Central Michigan. So I had Stony Brook money line, which ended up hitting and it shouldn't have. Central Michigan was drilling them, and then they shit the bed against George Mason. I think Yale wins by 10. Tough line there.
Yeah, I mean they drilled Quinnipiac by 26. Lost to UIC by 12 on the road, but followed that up with an 8-point loss at Purdue. Almost beat Minnesota on the road, lost by 3. So I mean they've been playing tough, but I mean 4 of the last 5 have been road games, with their one home game being a D2. So they've been road warriors, and not to mention they got 1, 2, 3 more road games, 2 of them in neutral, which I'm assuming is a tournament coming up here. So interesting spot. Yale laying 10
on the road too.
Yeah, Stony Brook. You beat St. Joe's of Brooklyn. Congrats, D2. Got pounded by 38 to George Mason. Barely beat Central, and then got drilled by 40 against Marquette. I mean, Yale's looked all right. I mean, they've been giving teams hell. I mean, Purdue 8, Minnesota 3, both on the road. Going to carry it up with another road game here.
Yeah, they got a lot of road games, man. Looking at their schedule right now. Listen, I think that 9.5 is a pretty solid number. It's not my favorite number that I don't see a ton of value in, but I do think they can win by 10. But it's bad. I mean, maybe even the under. I think the thing that scares me about taking unders, though, is it's maybe an overcorrection from Yale, but Stony Brook's pace, they can't shoot the fucking ball. I mean,
yeah.
Gino Ford's a good coach. I'll give him that. So maybe he can give these guys a bounce back. They just played St. Joseph's, New York, 193-45. But I don't know.
I'm not too interested in this one personally.
Yeah, I think that's the right number of Yale, 9.5. Trying to look at my thing here.
Got to pick a side though. Who would you go with?
Probably Yale, 9.5. I mean,
yeah,
and I think that take the under too. So I'm gonna go Yale.
Yeah, KenPom's got this 79-69. So right on that number. But I would take Yale over putting my money on Stony Brook to keep a game within single digits.
This one's kind of interesting. Virginia Tech versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville covered.
Okay. Who does Vatek have on deck?
Virginia Tech's got Michigan at Monday.
Michigan on a neutral, yeah. Off of the Penn State loss, though. They just got pounded by 22. Now you're back home against Jacksonville. Little scary spot.
Suncoast Credit Union Arena in Fort Myers. That game will be at.
If anyone's in Fort Myers, check this one out. This is going to be a barn burner. I don't want to. I know Michigan's on deck, but I don't want to fade Virginia Tech back home after they just got throttled by Penn State by 22. Feels like they're going to come out a little pissed off. So, it would be Vatek or nothing for me, to be honest, in this one.
I think that's probably the right play there. I'll Benedict myself. I like this Jacksonville team, but that's a tough spot for them. I like that. You got any others in these? We got a lot of 7:00 games. So maybe just go for some games that you're eyeing, some good games that we can give. I don't think we need to talk about Columbia, LIU, but maybe we do.
I was looking at Fort Wayne, Penn State. Penn State's laying 14.5 at home against Fort Wayne.
What's the over-under?
And Buffalo on deck. Over-under is 158.5. And then, Penn State 14.5 minus 115. So, I mean, they've killed absolutely everybody. Everybody.
They've killed everyone, dude.
I mean, Fort Wayne went to UCF, hung in there by 7, throttled South Indiana by 19.
14.5 or 13?
Murdered Bethune, 14.5. Are you talking for this game?
I bet tomorrow IPFW is a public dog for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not though. People are waking up to Penn State, but do they have a hangover from Purdue Fort Wayne? They don't have a. They play Fordham and Daytona Beach on Monday. God, I can't wait for next week. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. That'll be sweet. I don't think they're looking forward to Fordham. I feel like Shrewsbury's got these guys just absolutely rolling. And IPFW, I mean, their defense has been solid, but
Shrewsbury's on Notre Dame. It's Mike Rhodes.
Oh yeah. The Swift.
VCU.
Yeah. Yep. The old VCU coach. What?
I just farted.
Oh. Nice.
I don't care.
The Purdue game is going final, I think, right now. I think it just did. I think they got pounded by 20. Yeah, they got pounded by 20.
The Marquette was the right play. I don't know why I didn't fucking take them. I just got.
They kept moving up. I couldn't do it. I wasn't going to buy in at 5.5, 6. I looked live potentially at +8 at halftime, but didn't. Glad I did not.
Maybe even a Penn State team total over. I mean, IPFW is going to match the pace. Just will defend. Penn State's defense is really good, so IPFW's defense is not. So Penn State team total over potentially.
Yeah, do you got does FanDuel have a number on that? I can't look on my computer here. It won't let me, but I can look at
They don't post those until, they don't post those until like the nighttime. It's mid morning.
Oh, that's
weird.
Well, KenPom has them at 86-73, so 13-point win, 86 points. If it's like 84, 85.5, I'd be tempted. But if it's up towards the 90s, I don't want any part of that. I know they've put up 108, 103, 92, 86 now, but they've slowly started to go down a little bit. But I mean, Vatek, you can argue, is much better than IPFW, and they put up 86. So you can get somewhere around mid 80s. I'd be tempted with that over the 14.5. But I would rather play the 14.5 instead of IPFW 14.5.
Yeah, and I was just looking at the Dayton New Mexico State game. I took Dayton against Ball State, and I thought they were for sure covering, and then they just blew it. And I looked at they just barely beat Capital. I feel like this is kind of a similar game, and I won't say New Mexico State is similar to IPFW. I think IPFW is actually a better team, but
especially out of non-con,
a similar game where you think you have your bet, and then maybe there's a backdoor. Like those are just those region backdoor games. Dayton.
Maybe a Penn State first half. Come out, jump out to a lead here, and then
will it be like six? Probably like 6.5. You think?
Yeah. Holy shit! IPFW second half points a game, 47, 23rd in the country versus 37 in the first half. Oh, so they just come out second half and decide they want to score 50 burger every game, huh? Penn State 44.
They played UCF tough, man, at UCF.
Yeah.
That's a tougher place to play than Penn State. I can assure you that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna instead of full game, I'd rather play Penn State first half. They shut down teams sub 30 points in the first half, top 15 offense in the first half. I could see them coming out hot and then just kind of not coasting, but taking the foot off the gas a little bit in the second half there. With that tournament and travel on deck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so maybe IPFW covers, lose by 12 or 11 points or something. Late buckets and shit. Iona, West Virginia interest you at all?
I was just looking at
on
that
the road.
I can't figure this Iona team out personally, man.
At home, they're a good home team.
Well, yeah, I mean they lost to Delaware.
Disregard that. Hey, I took them against Vermont. If you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
You remember that.
And you were probably pissed off at first when it's 31-23 at the end of the half, and then they just storm back. It's a tale of two halves in CBB, though.
Yes.
Does West Virginia
win by today?
Does West Virginia have any business laying money against these teams?
Man, I know that's the thing. 15 points. 15.
I just don't.
They've got Gonzaga on deck, no shot. Gonzaga in a week, followed by Georgetown.
I think is that the Bowie?
Is West Virginia
in the Bowie?
I'm pulling it up right now. Maui
No, it's
Invitational.
it's the Atlantis tournament.
Yeah,
The
the Battle for Atlantis. Yeah, Maui is Colorado, Dayton, Iowa State,
Justin Perry from
Memphis.
Chicago going. Cool.
Wow, that's an interesting Maui field. Memphis, Dayton, Colorado, Auburn. I mean, there's some blue bloods in there, but Dayton, Colorado, and Memphis. What are we doing?
Yeah. Here's one I want to lay a number. George Mason, 24.5 against Coppin State in Fairfax.
Okay, that game just caught my eye. We'll have to talk. That's a 7:30 game. George Mason, Coppin State. Oh,
Coppin State's horrible. 93
yes, they
63.
are.
I mean, Coppin State hasn't done anything. They just pay to get their ass beat.
Yeah, no, they're just getting a bag.
Larry Stewart, 2-27 last year. They're gonna play Cheney or whatever on fucking January 16th.
Yeah, they have a D2 on deck too, so that not a look ahead. I mean, they've been looking like ass, but if there's ever a time to, I mean, they held NC Central to 58, Stony Brook to 56. So, I mean, Marquette, Central Michigan, East Carolina. Yeah, I mean, this would be a game where they just actually show up and step on their throats. I mean, you got a D2 on deck. You don't play James Madison for another 9 days, so you got plenty of time to figure that out. Penn State just brutal. 63, 67, 45, 53, 51, 49 total points. Miami plays a lot of tempo. So, I mean, I can see why they got there. They did score 67 on UMBC, but, I mean, that's UMBC here. George Mason finally back home. You get a chance to murder somebody. This kind of feels like it'd be another NC Central kind of game, 75, 58, something like that, 82, 56.
I think
get a team total.
I think 24 is the right number. The last time they played, 91-52, winning by 39. They were only 14.5. They were only 12.5 favorites. So maybe the 24 kind of scares me, but George Mason's only 1-4 against the spread last 5 games.
This is the one.
This is probably the one.
George Mason is laying 24. It's telling you.
I know. And I think it's just more Coppin State's just but
very ass.
We can move on to another game. I just wanted to shout that out.
This one's circled for. Let me just find an empty sheet of paper. This one is circled for a Coppin team total.
I might have to tell you on that.
If this is around 55, 56, I'll be on it. If it's 53 or lower, I want no part of it.
You got anything else for the 7 o'clock slates?
Or
we moving to 8, 10?
South Dakota at Western Michigan. Isn't Western Michigan just off of an ass whoop? Or they just beat someone's ass?
They beat so. They kicked Canisius's ass. Lost to SIU Edwardsville at home.
South Dakota's good, dude.
Dude, they are. They are good.
They're scoring points. They put up 91 plus in 3 other 5.
Are they a dog?
South Dakota -1.5. This line, actually, now that you look at it, this line kind of reeks. They're 1.5 point favorites. It is on the road.
They haven't won
a
road. They have not.
I mean, they went to Iowa.
They went to Iowa. Yeah, that's true.
Western Michigan is only 1.5 points. Is that an overreaction to them throttling Canisius? I mean, otherwise, 19-point loss to Edwardsville, 4-point loss to Coastal on the road, lost by 20 at Butler.
I don't think so, man. I think South Dakota's the better team. I think I'd rather take South Dakota. I get the premise on the home dog. I think there's better games to bet on. But this It's a high total. Both
Weird
teams-
line. Yeah, exactly. That's high total points. Western Michigan going to score.
I think they can, dude.
I mean,
Decent
they put up.
pace. They don't turn the ball. Western Michigan is one of the best teams in the country for not turning the ball over. And then, but their defense kind of stinks. Good. They do have a rebounding advantage against South Dakota, but just slightly on offense. So, yeah, man, this will be a fun one. I think I'm going with the road dog though.
No, they're
road-
favored 1.5. South Dakota's.
or excuse me, the road favorite.
Gotcha.
Right. But I'm curious to see if some Western Michigan heat comes in, but I don't think so because maybe the eye test is telling, like my eye test says, I think South Dakota's a better team. It's not like they're going to get up for this fucking game.
Yeah, they got Southern Indiana on deck, so
Western Michigan shoots a lot of 2-pointers. Their point distribution comes, they barely shoot the 3. Western Michigan does. South Dakota does shoot the 3, but they spread the ball around both threes and inside games. So, yeah, I like this. I like the South Dakota team. I don't want to pick it up, but
Western Michigan gives up 40% of teams' points from beyond the arc.
Javon Hanna and Donovan Williams, fun to watch in Western Michigan. I watched them against Butler. They were hooping against Butler. So this is a great game. I see both sides on this one. Tough angle here.
South Dakota 200th in total points from 3. This is an interesting one. Kind of got a little smell to me, but
Yeah, I would say that too. That's why I don't want to take South Dakota now. I'm curious to see, but if it starts moving towards Western Michigan, does it scare me even more? Maybe even the under too. These teams have never played against each other, by the way, ever.
the total's down 1.5 from open already.
Yeah, like was it 155?
156 open to 157.5.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
Santa Clara is fucking up Riverside right now.
Bad. That was another bet I liked. I got busy, man. I didn't for the 9 o'clock. The total has gone under in 12 of 18 Western Michigan games. Their last 18 games. Total.
Yeah, because they struggle to score. But
South
why is this
Dakota.
total so high?
Because the over's gone with South Dakota.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your take on who would you rather have on it? South Dakota?
Man, just to be somewhat contrarian in the fact that the line's kind of weird, I would go with Western Michigan. But logically, I really can't think of anything that would.
Well, the
You know,
line's
I mean,
the line's down
unless-
from 2. It opened at 2. I don't know if you already said that. Sorry, but
No, you're good. I see +2 right here on Bovada. So I mean, it's pretty much the same everywhere, a half-point difference.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, logically, you got to go with South Dakota, but on the road, decent travel spot. Western Michigan just won, maybe feeling pretty good. Western Michigan doesn't have anybody on deck, do they? Western Mich.
maybe it is Western.
Youngstown.
I'm gonna circle this game and do some more studying on this because this is one I'm torn on right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I just circled it.
Western Michigan.
You let's move on though because we got some more games definitely. We have covered a decent amount. God, that game is exciting. I'm watching. What is that South Dakota game? Where is that on? ESPN Plus. Okay, good.
Oh wow, it's not on Flow Hoops or Baller TV or something.
Don't bet on North Carolina A&T Morgan State because that's on Flow Sports. That might start becoming
Thank you.
if it's on Flow Sports. That's why I love Ken Palm. It shares the TV of
Dude, Flow Hoops is a terroristic organization.
Oh, Yale Stony Brook's on Flow Sports. That's my
Perfect.
Stay away.
I'm out.
Yep. There you go.
What else we got coming up here? I think that's really about it in that. Austin Peay Moorhead. That's kind of an interesting line. Austin Peay laying 3 on the road. Moorhead sucks. Austin Peay's been looking pretty good.
Yeah, but is this the same angle that you just had with Western Michigan, South Dakota?
This is true. This is true. This is very true. I mean, Moorhead's been blown out. Lost to Louisville by 48. Lost at Cincinnati by 27. Lost to Chattanooga by 14. Beat Boyce, Division II. Now you've got Austin Peay. Austin Peay off of they just lost by 35 at excuse me, at Tennessee.
Wearing stolen valor this game too.
He was wearing the uni at Tennessee too. So I'm thinking, I don't know what's up with that guy. I need to do a full on deep dive.
He did. It is stolen valor, I think, maybe. So
there's got to be a reason. There's no way that the school would just be like, yeah, go ahead and wear military fatigues for all the time. There's got to be something up with it. Something that'll be something to look into at some point here. But yeah, you're right. This is kind of a weird line. I mean, does Moorhead State finally get a D1 win here? Austin Peay just got shellacked by Tennessee. Now you're hitting the road to Moorhead.
Yeah.
Very fucking weird. What does KenPom have this at? I mean, it'll be 2 or 3 points.
69 to 68.
Why? Yeah, that's what KenPom has too. What the fuck?
No, that's what I did read KenPom. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Dude, their defense, they're giving up 64% from inside the arc. That's 355th in the country. 25% they're holding teams from the outside though, so that's 19th in the country. Is Austin Peay a big sorry, this is Austin Peay's numbers. Oh, so where does Moorhead? 23% from outside, 38% inside the arc. This line is weird, man.
Weird.
Do we just dive in? Little Moorhead action?
I would find it.
What? Why in the fuck is this 3? Injuries.
I'll tell you one that I just Moorhead's horrible.
They're so bad.
Freshman rookie
lineup.
It's a rookie coach to D1.
They just
as much as Corey Gibson pisses me off with the stolen valor, he took Northwestern State to be 22-11 and almost had Austin Peay to the tournament last year. So I'd hate to fade them. I guess I'll stick with my guns and take Austin Peay. But another circle game for me, Austin Peay. These circle games I'll come back to because this is another great game similar to South Dakota Western Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, they don't force turnovers. They're decent at limiting offensive boards, but they don't grab them. They turn the ball over a shit ton.
And I will be honest, I'm going on TCE tomorrow. I did Benedict myself on a couple picks last time we did this, but I wake up and it's a new day, you know. It's although it's like turned midnight and we're still talking about hoops. I'm gonna go to bed. And then I'll wake up. It's a new day, although it's the same day. It's a new day, you know? And so that's my logic there on changing up shit. I'll tell you what, Rutgers Merrimack, what's the over-under on that?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Rutgers, 133 even. Merrimack on the road.
Under.
Oh, I'm starting to get team totals listed here. Hold up. Let me go on DraftKings. Let me go back and look at this Coppin, see if they put it up yet.
Look at Penn State for me, too.
Coppin State, 52.5. I'm out. Too low. Too low. I wouldn't bet the over, but that's just too low. It's just too low. Can't, especially with George Mason. It's not like they're an elite defensive unit where
it's kind of
There's no
powerhouse.
denying
It's like it's
Yeah.
intimidating to go to Fairfax versus going to like what we saw with Maryland today, College Park.
Yep. Yep. Cross that off. Penn State. Penn State team total 87.5. Juiced under 125, so it might pop down to 86, or you can essentially get even money on over 87. Do they have first half? I don't see first half points.
Where is this game?
Hold up. Yeah, so Penn State's team total is juiced under. Fort Wayne's team total is juiced over. And the spread's 14.5 juiced to Penn State. Interesting.
I like Penn State.
I think that kind of works into what we were talking about is you play Penn State first half, and then second half kind of they just take their foot off the gas. Fort Wayne backdoors it.
I'll tell you who covers. I will not bet this. Not out of. It's because I've been fucking wrong every time on my Ball State Cardinals. But
Okay.
where the hell? I just had to get up. Sorry. I was pulling up Ken Palm stats.
State
I
University.
was wrong on Ball State. I was wrong on them I was right against them on Indiana State. I've only been wrong once on Ball State. So I'm 2-1.
That was the
Ball
Dayton
State
one?
bets. Yeah, Georgia State took Georgia State money line. It was a little juice, but you got to do what you got to do. Indiana State, they were dogs. As much as they're bad, Ball State's just as bad. The Detroit Mercy cover 11.5 against Ball State in Worthing.
I was thinking the same thing. Detroit hasn't been egregiously gross this year. They played decent.
Played Toledo decently.
Beat Niagara by 6. Toledo hung in there, and Toledo offense is obviously by far way better.
It's not like and Detroit's coach Mark Montgomery, he coached at Northern Illinois for 9 years.
So he knows this team.
He knows this team. It's a new team, new coach, Mike Lewis. He hasn't seen Mike Lewis, I guess, but they did play last year. If he was under, I wonder if he was under Mike Davis last year. Let me see. Oh, he was under Tom Izzo for 3 years. After Northern Illinois, so that's cool. All right. Anything else for the 7 o'clock games, or we can move on?
Detroit Mercy bet on a Wednesday is exotic. Yeah,
it's again, it's on my notes. I take it and then see if we'll best bet it. But
yeah,
it's on the side I feel more confident about.
Yep. Are they anything else in this?
I guess a 7:30's got a good one. Towson Nichols, that's another banger.
Hold on. Is South Dakota State the good South Dakota, or is that the other one?
That's at 8 p.m. though.
Is it?
Fine.
Yeah, never mind. I forgot.
Yeah, South Dakota State, and they're at home. They're in Brookings. South Dakota State, they lost to Northern Colorado and Rapid City. Whatever. Southern Miss.
Is Curbelo back for Southern Miss?
Oh, fuck Curbelo. But they are a different team. They are a different team with him, though.
100%. Let me look.
We won't know until tomorrow, dude.
Curbelo came back last game. He started for him. And their last game, they beat. It was a D2. Their first road game, they lost by 14 at UAB. That was the game they were down like 22-0 out the gate, and then managed to come back. So interesting spot. Curbelo's back. That will obviously help. The rest of the lineup's the same. Yeah, maybe not. I thought this, but this is the good South Dakota State team. Is this at the Pen? This is home at the Pentagon.
No, yeah, it's in Brookings.
Seven and a half. Compound's got this 4.
I see 6.5.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Don't love that.
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah. So fuck you, Bovado, with your lines. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. It is 6.5 juiced. I don't know. I don't want to back Southern Miss. I mean, they beat Bowling Green on the road, lost by UAB, beat a D2 team.
Yeah.
But South Dakota's been really good. I mean, they beat McNeese by 7. Long Beach they beat by 1, but lost on a neutral at Northern Colorado on the road. Won at home again. I wouldn't bet Southern Miss, but that number intrigues me. But I don't know enough to really circle it. Yeah. Mount St. Mary Knights, is that who the hell is that? Or did they just change? Is this just a different listed team?
I don't fucking know who that is.
Because they're playing Georgetown tomorrow and they're 13-point dogs.
I'm gonna go get another beer.
Yep. I'm gonna look this up. That's the Mountaineers. Who the fuck are the Mount St. Mary Knights? Let's look this up. Georgetown. So they beat Bucknell double overtime, beat St. Francis, lost to Maryland. Georgetown off of an embarrassing loss.
Yeah, that one. That line's tough, I think. But who wants to? You can't fade South Dakota State and Brookings, right?
No, yeah, I would take them over back in Southern Miss. Just they're too erratic.
Here's a fun one: Towson versus Nichols State at Nichols, 7:30 right before that.
Towson Nichols.
I'm gonna take Towson. I think Towson's good.
Yeah, I like what I saw from him. I mean, off the James Madison win.
Nichols is good. I think Towson's is a good team, but the line, in my opinion, stinky. I just think Towson. I
mean, Nichols has hung in these games. I mean, granted, they got smoked by Cincinnati. I believe they covered anyway, but still, they just lost to Cincinnati on the road. Now they got to hit the road. Nope, this will be Nick. This is at home. All right, so Towson hits the road. 0-2 on the road. Lost to St. Mary's by 7. Lost to South Carolina by 26.
Yeah, that's different. If you look at Nichols State lost to South Alabama by 6 at home.
Yeah, true. I mean, Towson off of the James Madison win. It's a big win. No look ahead for them. Nichols, Mississippi College. That's got to be Mississippi College of Women they have on deck. So maybe they're looking ahead to that one, if you know what I mean.
They 100% might be, but I'll have to lean Towson for now. I just wrote Towson down. I think that's the right play, but a lot of road favorites I like, which I don't like.
Yeah. Nichols offense, 35% inside the arc, 53% from the line, and they get 21% of their shots blocked. That's tough.
I like Towson, man. I think I like Towson as my favorite road dog or road favorite. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, Towson's defense giving up 55.5 inside, 76% on the line. You can't really control
Towson's
that.
a better team than South Alabama, man. I think.
Yeah.
And
Nichols' defense is solid, though. I mean, respectable. Sub 30% from 3, 47% effective field goal. Don't force turnovers, though, which is their issue. But Towson doesn't really give it up, so that's not going to really matter. But man, you look at this. They can't shoot free throws, Nichols. They can't shoot inside the arc.
This
And
could
they get
be an under game too. 139, 138.
what's Nichols' team total here? Let's take a little peek ski.
It's 138 divided by 2, essentially.
68.5.
So yeah, they think Towson will win 70-68.
Yeah.
I kind of like the under, but I don't know. Nichols they don't shoot the ball well. They've
gone under this number three games this year. 49 at Cincinnati. I'm not going to really hold that against them. Northern Kentucky held them to 61. D2
Nichols lives and dies.
Other 4 D1 teams they played against have gone under.
Who defends the 3? Nichols' point distribution comes from the 3. They live and die by the 3. Towson defends the 3, top 100 in the country.
Yep. Towson defense, 26% of.
But Towson's offense fucking sucks, kind of too. So this I just wrote down the under in Towson for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. It's Nichols' team total or Towson. I mean, when 21% of your shots are getting blocked on the offensive end, and then you're going to follow that up by when you get to the line, you're shooting sub 54% and sub 36% inside the arc.
Yeah.
Granted, Towson's defense isn't amazing inside, but
it's a total under game, I think.
Yeah, let me write that down. Towson in the
you wrote under. You can stick it.
I wouldn't. I can't fuck with full game totals. Those fuck me, but the team totals, I don't mind. I mean, Nichols has gone under this 3 of the 4 games they played a D1 opponent have gone under, and New Mexico, they scored 84 against, which they must have been banging every 3 because that was a lot of points. Otherwise, they've gone under this number every time. So, Nichols team total under, what was that, 68? Yeah, 68.5. Juiced under 68.5 minus 125. And Towson, what was Towson favored?
Minus 1.5.
Oh, minus 1.5. Ooh, interesting.
I just don't think Towson blows teams out.
Yeah.
They like that. They like play like that old Wisconsin Bo Ryan offense that everyone loves so well.
Hey man, 2015, 2014, that shit was clicking, my guy.
Oh, I know. But yeah, any 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central games before we talk about the big one at 9:00?
I was potentially looking at this Georgetown game. It's a 8:30 your time, I believe. 8:30. Mount St. Mary Knights at Georgetown. Georgetown's coming off of the shellacking of Notre Dame. They just lost by 21 at home to Notre Dame. Now Mount St. Mary's comes in, feeling pretty good, beating St. Francis, PA, Bucknell, and then lost to Maryland on the road also. They put up 66 against PA, 52 against Maryland, and then Bucknell, they scored 93. I believe that was an overtime game. Bucknell, oh shit, what just happened? Oh, all my tabs just closed. Son of a reopen. Never mind. We're good. Reopen. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. That's what I was looking up. Bucknell. Mount St. Mary's.
Is this game going to go to overtime? Every Bucknell game's gone to overtime, I feel like.
True. 6 days ago. I just want to see the box score. It went double overtime. They got 22 points in overtime, so subtract 20. They scored 71 in regulation.
Yep.
So 71. So they barely did any scoring in that. Yeah, so all these are reload. Yeah, so 13. You're favored by 13 here. Georgetown. Yep, favored by 13. 144.5 total. St. Mary's needed double overtime to get those points. Other than that, 52 and 66 against D1 teams. Georgetown at home, 77 to Lehigh, 57 to Fairfield, and then Notre Dame got them for 84. Lehigh was first game of the year. They got St. Francis on deck, so they're not looking ahead. They're looking to get revenge on getting fucked up by Notre Dame at home. Mount St. Mary's, yeah, they've struggled to score. I mean, 71's their highest in regulation.
Yeah.
College basketball. Yeah, I mean, I like these angles. You don't have a look ahead, and then you got a team that just got rocked at home playing an absolute nobody.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. God, ESPN Plus always fucking freezes and slows down. It's horrible.
Yeah. St. Mary's team total 65 and a half. Georgetown. Come on, get back. All right. I'm trying to look at defensive efficiency here. Shooting.
I actually really like that.
Georgetown, 194th. So not crazy elite, but I mean, you got to factor in a little bit of that was Notre Dame putting it on them a little bit, but I don't mind the Georgetown minus 13 here, to be honest.
I don't either. I see 12.5 on FanDuel. I like it. I'm with you, buddy.
There you go.
I like it. I just wrote that down.
Yeah, let's get that circled down here. Just see what KenPom puts us at. 78-67, 11-point game. I don't really give a shit. It's pretty close onto that number anyway.
I think Western Kentucky can beat Jackson State by 20, but I'd rather lay a different spread. I won't talk about this much, but Western Kentucky, they need a big win, but their offense has just been piss poor. 16's a long number. So if I had to pick a bigger lay,
yeah, but it's Jackson State, my guy.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Western Kentucky, I mean, the defensive efficiency of where I just had it. 82nd in the country here. I mean, Wichita put up 84. Otherwise, they lost Grand Canyon by 2 on the road. They give them 74. Lipscomb 61. So, I mean, they've played 2 top-tier mid-majors there. Gave up 91 and 74. Jackson State, 40, 71, 57, 81. Yeah, scored 81 on Vanderbilt. Holy shit. High Point, plays decent amount of possessions. Xavier just pummeled them. Houston just pummeled them. They got Kentucky on deck after Western Kentucky. Oh, they both have Kentucky on deck. Interesting. Yeah. The 22nd, Jackson State's got Kentucky, and then Western Kentucky has them the 26th. So they've got about a week after that. You definitely want to get a win going in, feeling good going in to play Kentucky here.
Yeah, I think so too. It could be a look ahead spot, but one number I'm going back and forth.
What was the spread on this? Sorry,
16.5.
16.5.
Yeah, Texas A&M, 26.5 favorite against Southern. Southern's not bad.
Yeah. 140.
But I will say this: Southern's going to allow a lot of possessions for Texas A&M with how fast they run.
Do they rebound? Is the other question.
They do not.
Southern team stats.
Southern does a decent amount of rebounding.
Yeah, they give up about, we'll round up 6.7 offensive boards a game. That's 40th most in the country. 23.3% offensive board percentage for the opponent. Yeah, they're much better at crashing defensive glass than the offensive glass. They don't grab defensive rebounds, actually, if I'm looking at this. Defensive rebounds a game, 22, 232nd in the country. Texas A&M's not going to give you boards. They're also getting blocked 6 times a game. That's one of the worst in the country. 10% block percentage.
Yeah, but Texas
they turn it over a lot.
Both teams kind of turn it over a decent amount.
Yeah. Texas A&M's got to have somebody on deck, right?
They probably have a tournament. They do Oregon neutral.
Oregon, Creighton, Wake Forest, Texas Tech, Purdue.
in
Holy
Las,
shit.
in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Oregon, Creighton, and Vegas. Then they got
Yeah, but that's not even if they play Creighton in Vegas. I'm sure I don't know what the tournament is. They probably will play a different team too, right? If they win, or lose, I don't know.
I'm guessing so. I'm guessing they play 3 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Damn. They have a hell of a stretch coming up. Southern. Are they really going to be that? I mean, I get it's Buzz Williams. They're not going to be
Right.
he's not just going to be not even preparing for him, but 26 and a half.
Right.
They beat Lamar by 26. And they beat Texas A&M Commerce by 22. They beat Lamar by 26 with Ohio State on deck. Is Lamar worse than Southern is the question.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, 3-point defense. A&M shooting 37.6, Southern 40.2. They're giving up 41, almost around at 42% of points coming from beyond the arc. Goddamn. And 43% coming up inside the 2. And they give up, son of a. Texas A&M free throws, that's the one downfall, 68%. Texas A&M does get a lot of their shots blocked, but who does Southern really have to? They've got one 6'10" guy. Otherwise, everyone's 6'8" or shorter. So I don't think the blocks will really matter in this one. 13% of shots blocked for Southern, 15% on defense. That's 38th in the country for A&M. So they block a shit ton. Elite inside the arc. If Southern can't hit a 3-ball, they kind of seem fucked in this game, regardless of how much effort Texas A&M puts forth. Both play a lot of bench minutes.
I just think with a lot of points, the cap is with that A&M will have a lot of points too as well with how fast Southern runs.
Oh, experience here too. 2.87 year average for A&M, about 3/4 of a year for Southern. That's 333rd in the country versus 17th.
Yeah, this seems like a lay. This seems like a lay or nothing or a over for Texas A&M.
Yeah, I would not want my money on Southern. I mean, if A&M can hit the 3-ball, it's going to be a long day for Southern. That's for.
Before we go to the big game, do you want to talk about any 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock Central games?
Let me look. A&M's team total is 85.5, by the way.
I don't hate that.
Let me just make sure. No, yeah, we can move to that 9 o'clock window.
Long Beach State versus Gonzaga.
Gonzaga's got that tournament on Maui on deck, and they just fucked up. They didn't really fuck them up, but San Diego State
on the road win.
West Virginia on deck on a neutral. Kentucky, Connecticut. So I mean, are you really gonna put forth a top-notch effort against Long Beach State here?
Or do you have to? Long Beach State sucks.
Yeah, Long Beach 61-54.
Get blown out by 30 to They get blown out by 30 to San Francisco, but you only lose to South Dakota State by 1.
Yeah, that was the game after they beat McNeese, though. South Dakota State.
Teams lost a lot. Gonzaga's gelling.
Yeah, I can't imagine this is a much of a look ahead, but
I'll take Gonzaga 29.5. I think Gonzaga could win by 30.
29.5? It's 34.
What?
Yeah, dude.
It's already been juiced. I saw it open at 30-29. Sorry.
Maybe a Long Beach team total under.
What's that at?
59.5.
I don't know. I thought they could score 60, right? I
They-
like that compared to the other.
Yeah, this is a tad bit, just look ahead a bit from what you call it, off the San Diego State win with whoever the fuck they had on the was that
Gonzaga
Kentucky?
runs fast.
West
Long Beach
Virginia.
State doesn't run that fast, but they might have to.
Yeah, Gonzaga can easily just pummel them though. Gonzaga. Well, I mean, KenPom's got this by 30. Not that I really weigh a ton into what KenPom says, but books like to use it a bit, and they got this juiced up all the way to 40. What did it open at, actually?
I saw 30.
According to these VSiN splits, apparently it opened at 34.
30.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Gonzaga's defense is elite.
Does Gonzaga score 95, 96?
I don't know.
I think I'm confident on Western Kentucky on that 16.5. I just wrote that down. I didn't write it down earlier, but I just wrote down
Right.
Western Kentucky 16.5 going back. Do you have anything for Grand Canyon versus UC Davis? My buddy of mine, shout out my buddy Joe. He was he was on a Connect flight to Vegas, and he saw he was on the same plane as the UC Davis team.
Hell yeah, commercial, humble guys.
He just texted me about it today, and leading scorer in the nation, Ty Johnson, he's a baller.
Yeah, that he is. I think they could score some points, but I mean, excuse me, Grand Canyon off that Arizona State loss, nobody on deck, Norfolk State.
Yep.
But Grand Canyon also hasn't looked amazing this year. That 5.5 line I fell for kind of felt like it was going to be a spot where previous game where Arizona State was going to be a little bit of a letdown after they showed everybody the Gonzaga game, but they haven't really played well against anybody. I mean, Western Kentucky 2-point home win, Fullerton 12-point home win, lost to Arizona State at the Footprint Center. Now you got UC Davis on deck here. UC Davis has looked all right. I mean, beat Idaho, 6-point game at Washington. Stanford lost by 14, but this is interesting. What's the line? Grand Canyon.
15.5.
It feels like a lot. I mean, the Big West has been playing pretty damn good this year overall. They've been playing pretty good. I mean, UC Davis has respectable defense. 15.5 feels like a lot.
I think I kind of like the over too.
Yeah, points. Yeah, total 152.5.
Both teams just run fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
UC Davis didn't score as much as they wanted to against Stanford. They pretty much scored around 79 points other than Stanford game. But Stanford's a good team. This Grand Canyon team looked pretty bad, and they still put up 76 against Arizona State. A good win against Western Kentucky. I mean, I think UC Davis can cover, and but I'd rather take the over, first half over. So I'm going to write down over first half game. Lean UC Davis.
What's
yeah?
Nervous. I mean,
both defenses are good too. That's what scares me about the total.
But they both play fast. They both like to run it up and down. UC Davis's team total 67.5.
Kind of like that.
They've scored that against everybody. They missed it by Stanford by 3.
79 and 80. Yeah, 79 and 80.
Canyon gave up 87 Arizona State, 72 to Kentucky Western, and then 79 to Fullerton. 67.5.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to cover that 15.5, they're going to score 70 points.
I know.
It just feels like a lot for Grand Canyon. They're the hunted now, especially after everything they did last year. It's just they haven't come out sharp.
Phoenix is different, though. They get up for games. It is not mid-major team where like you see a point like, oh, they'll cover that because there's fucking family in the crowd only.
Yeah.
This does have a. They always have those big game type feels, but maybe UC Davis can respond to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Canyon hasn't played amazing at home. 2-point game to Western Kentucky, 10 to Fullerton.
We'll talk
UC
about a
Davis
line
is
that
solid.
fucking talk about a line that fucking steamed, man. This next game, if we don't have anything else on UC Davis Grand Canyon,
No, I just wrote down the total
this
over
be the
60.
climax. I mean, after this game, the 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock slate is not that great. It's your normal West game slate, but this is probably the climax of the night. 9 o'clock, only on SEC Network. What a joke!
That's essentially ESPN Plus.
I see Alabama 8.5 against Illinois, but did I see it open up at 4?
No. Did it open that low? It did. Open 4.5.
Yep. Okay.
Totals up 4 points too from open.
It's because the line opened at 10. The line opened October 28th. What? How's that possible? What?
Oh, look at headlines and game of the year type of lines.
But today at 1 o'clock it was 4.5, jumped to 5 immediately, then 6.5. I wish they could open those up. I guess FanDuel just only wants 7.5. DraftKings ain't afraid of no problems because they opened it up at 4.5. It looks like
it's a semi-home for Bama
at 112. Semi-home.
The Legacy Arena. Where's Legacy Arena? Oh, it's in Birmingham. So I mean, this is essentially a home game.
Legacy Arena. So just some fucking like theater.
Yep.
It's the CM Newton Classic.
You can get tickets for $10 to this game.
I know. And then you got Jelly Roll the next day.
I was gonna say $50 gets you a Bama Illinois game and Jelly Roll tickets. Not a bad deal.
Let's see the CM Newton Classic. Let's see this.
You know what I don't like about Bama is they can't hit threes right now.
Because I saw this dude tweet out Alabama 4.5 when I saw it was like potentially 8.5. I was like, is this guy fucking making up lines? And then I looked at the line movement and it saw 4.5. I'm like, man, we missed our spot. I think 4.5 is easy cover. 8.5 is where I get a little sketchy.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking Illinois in this one, to be honest. It's not home.
I do it 8.5.
You would lay 8.5 with Bama?
No, I said I said I like Illinois at 8.5.
Okay.
I think 4.5. Bama's got it down.
Yeah, but they're not forcing turnovers. 2, they can't hit threes. They're shooting 30%.
Illinois' first test, man. They've played no one.
Fair.
I mean, Alabama's defense has really been unimpressive, like we said. And I really didn't take Purdue because they're the better team. I took Purdue for Mackey Arena, and I think you'd agree on that.
Yeah.
I
mean, even McNeese, they only won by 8. You think McNeese is worse than Illinois?
No, that's what I'm saying. I like Illinois at 8.5.
Oh, I'm getting this mixed up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 8.5. I mean, it's juice, so it's looking like it's about to go down to 8. Is there any better spot? Let me look about unabated here. You can get 8.5 is the best. If you want Bama, you can get 8 on 365.
Wow.
No, Bovada's got the best line for Grand Canyon and Long Beach State, if that interests anyone.
I wish I looked at this and bet it. 82 to 75, maybe, is what I could see happening.
Yeah, Ken Palmaz is 84.79. It just feels like it's gotten too far. Like everybody's betting Bama on a bounce back spot, but what does Bama live on? Threes, and they haven't been shooting them very well. Illinois has been solid. They're not giving up a ton at the free throw line. They're not giving up a lot from 3. I mean, they're Looking at the wrong one. Yeah, they're not giving up a lot from outside. They're not giving up anything from outside. 23% field goal percentage, and only 23.5% of points from outside for Illinois. Inside 60 points. I mean, granted, now these are skewed because they played almost nobody, but this is a neutral. Bama's already struggling to shoot threes. They're missing right cell still. Illinois, I mean, they've been playing good. And who the fuck is the Illinois coach? I'm drawing it. Brad Underwood.
Brad Underwood.
Underwood's going to be up these guys' ass for this game. I mean, they haven't played since the 13th, so they've already had a week off. I mean, they only beat Oakland by 12, so you could argue maybe they were just kind of going through it. It's only scored 66, so 8.5 seems like a lot. Like a lot of people are just expecting a Bama bounce back when they're already struggling to do what they do best, which is shoot threes.
All the people that bet on fucking Bama already.
Yeah.
I think Brad Underwood likes being an underdog.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And this Illinois teams look better than I figured they would for how many new pieces they have.
Chip on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. I can already see him with that scowl just screaming at one of his European fucking recruits. Like, you gotta get over on that screen. You gotta put a hand in his face. He's wide open. But it all boils down for me that Bama can't shoot threes. They're shooting 30% when that's what they want to do is run and gun and fire them up. They're not hitting them. They're not hitting them. Illinois is a good team, a good defensive team. Granted, they played nobody, but 67 against Eastern Illinois, but they scored 112 in that game. So they gave them how many possessions extra? It's 58 against SIUE, 54 against Oakland. I mean, they're good defensively. Obviously, this is going to be a test. Like, this isn't, they're not going to hold Bama to 62 points, but neutral. Bama struggling to shoot already, missing guys. Illinois, great defense, look good. The offense doesn't seem to be too much of an issue so far. I mean, they're not letting you score from three anyway, so they're not even going to let Bama have comfortable threes. They've got size for inside. I mean, they got a 7'1", 7'1" guy, 255. Granted, freshman, so he may get exposed just a little bit at points, but you're 7'1", 255. He's going to clog that paint up, grab boards. And then Kerry Booth, 6'10", 215 sophomore. Bama has Grant Nelson, 6'10". Yeah, Grant Nelson, 6'11". Amourier. Oh, we actually checked Amourier's status. Remember, he had that knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go try to find that. That's a big one, actually, because once he left that game changed.
It's impossible to find.
No. I have sources.
Yeah. You do have the sources. Teams, they don't really turn the ball over or force turnovers much, so I think there's going to be a lot of possessions here. So the over is just so high at 166. Interesting. Alabama's got to figure out their 3-point shot.
Yeah,
I don't think they will. Like you said, I don't think they will this game against Illinois' stout defense on
that. Wait, he came back in that game?
I can't remember. I didn't watch that game.
You didn't watch the Purdue game?
Oh, I did watch that Purdue game. What do you mean? What am I saying?
I was gonna say. I'm trying to find latest. The latest thing I can see is one of their beat reporters go to the bench with apparent injury early in the second half, and then there was no response back as to what happened.
He's kind of been battling this injury all year, too.
Yeah, and a knee injury is something that will keep him out.
Yeah, I think I'll side with you right now on Illinois. No thoughts yet. You know, people are going to wake up and be like, Alabama 8.5, but they don't even realize it opened at 4.5.
Yeah, and then if Amourier gets announced out or minutes limited or gets hurt again, they're
And now,
fucked. I mean, what
and now
because
he's
the
out.
second he left, that whole game changed. Like Kaufman Wren did whatever he wanted down low. They had no answer for it. Kind of a big deal. I mean, 8 rebounds a game, 10 points a game for him so far. That's a lot of. And Grant Nelson is, he's a good player, but he's not huge. He's just going to get bullied, especially when you got a 7'1", 250 guy down low and then a 6'10", 215. Grant Nelson's 6'11", 230, but he's scrawny. He doesn't have like shit to him. Like he just gets pushed around. If Mourier doesn't play there, I think they're kind of fucked.
That's a good call out. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that and see what happens with that.
It's a knee injury though. I'm trying to figure out if he's
been hurt. He's been hurt since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's been on and
Nate
off.
Oates, do you play him?
Yes.
Just because you need him? I mean, you have Houston on deck. Would you rather have him against Illinois and he gets hurt, or have him more healthy for Houston? Because you got Illinois, Houston, Rutgers, UNC, Creighton.
That's a gauntlet,
dude. Lucky for them, they got 3 of them are neutrals, and you just played Purdue, so you got fucking 7 games, 6 games in a row, half of them are neutrals.
It's at the MGM Grand. It's at the MGM Grand too.
I think I'm just going to grab Illinois, to be honest. Because, I mean, even if Amourier is back, Underwood has seen him.
I'm telling you, it's going to go to 10 tomorrow.
I'm not grabbing it. I've got it written down.
I like it. I'm with you on there. I got it written down as well. And I said first half over because I don't want to see. I don't want to be on 166. It's not hit.
I don't believe in a Bama bounce back when they can't hit threes, which is essentially what they want to do.
Do you have anything for after this? I mean, I kind of feel like we should end on this game almost. Yeah. I don't know any. I don't have any reads right now on the 10 o'clock slate. I think.
No.
I'm looking at.
Got one more darlings and Power 5 team. Cal Poly, Arizona State. Cal Poly catching 16.5. Do you even want to attempt it with fading Arizona State at this point?
No.
But it does seem like that's a big.
These are the 2 teams I don't want to fade because this is actually Cal Poly Arizona State money line parlay with Mac living in the past, but they play tomorrow. They play tomorrow, so that's kind of funny, I think.
Yeah. I don't really want to get involved. I was just curious your thoughts. I mean, Cal Poly can run it up and down and make it a little interesting for Arizona State, but 154.5 I know seems high, but kind of seems a tad low for a Cal Poly game if they're going to get what they want. Right. Not to mention Jaden Quayton's down low, just protecting that rim, going to force Cal Poly into jumpers. So
yeah, I don't want to fade this Arizona State team. They're just gelling right now. But this
Cal Poly did not work.
This Cal Poly team is means business.
Yeah.
The over could be a thing. If you believe in Cal Poly to cover, then they should maybe hit the over.
Yeah, with this big of a number and how big of darlings they become.
Even though Cal Poly is a fast-paced team, I hate seeing them. God, I see fucking Joey Galloway right now talking about Curtis Works sitting out. I don't turn that off real quick. But do I see those teams or like the low major teams? Do they get to control the pace versus?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and when you got Quayton's down low, guarding that rim, swatting shit out of there, kind of feels like Cal Poly's not going to get what they want. Going to be forced to take jumpers, and uncomfortable shots are not going to be up and down the floor. Arizona State got shooters everywhere, so.
I bet this goes to close to 20 tomorrow too.
Yeah. If you want Arizona State now, I'd take it, but I don't have any interest in fading both of these teams. I was just curious your thought.
Yeah, and
by the way, UC Davis went up to 68.5 now.
UNLV scares me. All these games at 10 o'clock are just, I feel like, tougher reads.
Yeah, I really have no interest in these.
And then Northern Colorado's catching 5.5 against Cal Baptist. I actually don't mind that. But Cal Baptist, another good team, and that court is real, man. The court's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
mean, they burnt me when I who did they play? Riverside, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baptist. They play slow too. Northern Colorado's played all right. Back-to-back road games.
I'm gonna write that one. I'm gonna write that one down though. And then do you want to go over just some bets we have written down and before we launch them tomorrow, so we can wrap up here? And I think we are doing another show tomorrow and Thursday too, or today. So.
Yep, we running shows every day. Friday, TCE pregame, and then I will be gone for the weekend, deer hunting, but back Monday and back to the regularly scheduled programs. But yeah, what you got?
Are you back Monday morning, or?
I think I'm coming back Sunday. If I do, I'll be back.
We got some
Monday night to run. I'll be back either way to run a Monday night show, even if I stay overnight Sunday into then. So,
well, if you do, don't. I mean, have fun. Definitely have fun. We got a lot of games next week. But right now, Penn State team total over. Right now, South Dakota, Towson, and Western Kentucky minus 16.5. I have down. Detroit plus 11.5 as well. And then I wrote down this over 1.5, and I don't fucking see it. I can't read my own writing. I said over first half, and then I have George Mason minus 24.5. So, but yeah, I mean, these are all just on my paper right now. I'm gonna finalize my stuff and plug some models here, and then definitely have some bets for tomorrow. What you got, Stooley?
Yeah, circled Western Michigan +2 just because that line is nasty. Makes no sense whatsoever. Nichols team total under 68.5. Towson minus 1.5. Georgetown minus 13. UC Davis over 68.5. Illinois plus 8.5. Just keeping an eye on the Amourier injury. Northern Colorado +6, and then that Penn State over 87.5 also. I bet nothing. I will tweet them out if I do anything overnight. Otherwise, I will just have these circled for right now and just kind of meander across the board and look at those and see what I'm going to be finalizing on. But
and Coppin State was at around 52.5. You said that right?
Yep, a little too low for me. Would I be shocked if they score 48? No, but do I want to bank on George Mason holding them under 52.5? No, not really.
No.
52.5 is a number you give to Maryland or something. So, interesting spot. So,
but hey, man, that was fun. We got a lot to chop up tomorrow or next week and stuff, man.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
absolutely. I will see you in the college experience late night chat.
Yes, I'll be on TCE tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Good job on TCE today. It was a great show.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I will catch you tomorrow, and good luck.
Yep. Take care, man.
Toodles.
Toodles.